Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Ron Doyle on Maryland's Eastern Shore. I'm a master electrician. Just got done wiring a house. This is part 2 of a video, and I am with George Landy of MEI, Maryland Electrical Inspections. We're going to do a walk around, a walk and talk, so you all get a little bit of an idea of what to expect when an electrician's walking around with you, and what he's expecting you to do as far as abiding by the National Electric Code. So this is our introduction, and we're going to do a walkthrough. Stay tuned. Yes, sir. Looks like the HVAC guys have got their return air and their exhaust vent for their 90+ gas furnace going in now. I didn't see that the other day. You can see it going in right there and there. And the exhaust out right there. They don't have their mushroom on the end of it. I think they do it more for aesthetics. And of course that was a two out one. This is the garage area. And Mr. George is looking for Romex clamps. These are the Arlington boxes that you can swap the rings on. Yeah, you can use it as a workbench. Everybody else does. I put my box cover on there, so hopefully the painters and the drywallers take note and put my cover door in there and protect it. You know how that goes. Nobody cares but the electrician that buys it and puts it up. I only put 2 screws in that. I try to make it easy for you. Uh-oh. Cold weather fingers. Gets you every time. So how long you been doing electrical inspections, George? When did you actually start this?
1993, September 93. So it's just about 29 years.
29 years? Wow, that's a long time. It was a long time. How many times have you dropped one of those cover doors on your foot? I've done it too. I've done it too. It is the, oh my goodness, you're asking a question I can't answer. I can't think of the brand name. It's like a brownish colored grease. Yeah. Yeah. I can't stand no locks. I was taught using that, and I kind of steered away from it. There's a better product. Yeah, really. Well, after you aren't paying attention and you smear it on your face, you will realize there's better products. Very hard to get off.
Kind of tough on your sleeves as well.
You see that I've also labeled it lag bolts and T-nuts. Hopefully the rumor spreads that T-nuts are a good thing on a plywood wall.
Cool.
Hopefully. It was in my other video. If the viewers are interested in how to install meter sockets on 1/2-inch plywood or OSB using T-nut application, you can watch a video of me installing this. And what are you doing here, George?
We're measuring, testing the inductors and the meter socket they put in themselves to make sure that they don't have any leakage. There's no...
Basically checking the main breaker, make sure it's not faulty.
Well, not just the main breaker, but the gear itself too, just to make sure there's no leakage, potential leakage for current.
Okay.
So we apply 1,000 volts DC onto the equipment, onto the conductors, verify that there is no leakage. And this one appears to be good.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Definitely cool beans this morning. How cold is it this morning, George?
Bumped all the way up to 23 when I checked it the last time before I got here.
That's enough to make a problem when you go to the bathroom in a porta-john, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ladies out there won't know what we're talking about, but it's a struggle.
We're waiting for the frost to thaw.
Yeah.
The door's left open.
Yeah. The other day, come up on a job site and the snow was just above the door. I had to almost shovel the porta-john out just to walk in.
Yeah, you don't have anything below this one.
Ground rod on this one should be right here.
I mean, you don't have a clamp below this, do you?
No, the closest acorn is here, and you should be able to pull it from the wall. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Arlington bridge block, group bond block that all the utilities will go into, such as gas, CATV, telephone. Of course, you can obviously see the bare ground going up for the electric. And that is a code requirement. And the other ground, we have two grounds on the system. There's one right there where I'm pointing, and the other one travels along this wall and is right there.
How far apart you gotta run?
They are 16 feet apart.
Yay.
Twice the length of the rod. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on this video I've been getting a lot of comments because I'm speeding the footage up to 1.4 to 1.5 speed, and that is to shorten the length of the video so that you all don't get bored and you all keep attention and don't drop off on me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this video is too fast for you, please put it on 0.75 playback speed. I don't mean to be arrogant about it. I'm just trying to make this as quick as possible so that you all hang with me. What are y'all doing now, George?
We're doing a ground resistance test on the grounding electrodes, and it'll be a lot lower once the utility attaches, so you're about 694.4.
Okay.
Which is pretty high because we're only looking for 25 maximum.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
You get the two electrodes regardless of whatever the ground resistance is, that's all you got to put in.
And that is the minimal code requirement for, when did that code come into effect?
Precedes me.
It's been quite a few code cycles, hasn't it?
Yeah, it precedes me. The 25 ohm resistance has been around for decades.
No, I mean, when did they implement the from 1 ground rod to 2 ground rods? When did they implement that?
It's really been pretty much like 2 ground rods is maximum, but it just changed the verbiage in 2011.
2011, okay.
Started out, you had put one rod down, couldn't make 25, then you set a second rod. Then 2011 comes back and says you put 2 rods down unless you can do it with 1 rod, so it's effectively the same thing.
Okay. And then U for ground, if it has U for ground, that how does that account in this situation?
Still looking for 25 ohms, but if they have any metal quarter piping that comes into the building, which is for a well system, then you got to supplement it with an electrode regardless.
Okay. Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they were making me do the U for ground in Pocomoke City, Maryland, and come to find it, there's a conflict of interest, especially because basically they're making the mason that does the footer put in a series of rebars for his foundation requirements, and they're making him bond it, and they're making him pull out the ground, number 4 bare ground, to do the U for ground system for me at a later date when that structure is framed up and I am installing the wire.
How are you tying to it?
Tying into the grounding system for the house.
How are you tying it onto how you're building to the ground wire?
Running the U for ground, I was running it, let's see if we can get a better light, there we go. Running the U for ground wire up, running it through the bridge block, going up into the house, and then coming back out, I was running another additional ground rod out by the structure and tying it into the bridge block.
You know the ground electric conductor is supposed to be continuously operate.
Yes, sir, it is. It is. But they were catching me on a time frame that the ground was too short after they came up. So I would supply 30 foot of bare 4 copper, and the mason would put 20 to 22 foot of bare copper in the ground, and when I would get there, I would find 8 foot to 10 foot hanging out. Sometimes there was less than 4 foot, which I actually think somebody chopped the copper on me. No, they wouldn't do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have you can see in the other video, that's a 200 amp square D home line 4080 panel. It has the lock-on neutral bar, and it has Romex clamps in the top. There's 2 wires per clamp on the 120 volt side, single wires on the 240 volt side. It ain't gotta be too fancy, George.
Flip it across the bottom.
There we go. There we go. I need to put in big letters. Painters, drywallers, put the cover back in this panel box protector.
Put please behind it.
Put please on it, yes. Maybe drop a couple pieces of candy on it. Of course, now construction workers are almost legal to smoke pot. So, not really what we want at a job site. I throw a little humor in there this morning. What's that?
You'd probably say it is legal, but it's medical.
Yeah, they would say that, wouldn't they? Seems like the trades pick up the pot issue quite a bit more than the other trades do. He's basically looking around to make sure that the wires are stapled in approximate widths apart, and I usually go overkill on my wiring. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see staples, and I would say they're within 3 foot apart, probably less than that, 30 inches maybe. Yeah, easily do further apart on my horizontals, but when you come up to my switches and my outlets, you're going to see them real close. I want wire securement. That's my wires going in the house. If you all didn't see that other video, got RG6 on this side, 240 volt on that side, 120 on that side, 2 oversized holes running down into a straight line. See if I can get up in this ERS without falling. That'd be funny on YouTube. So on this side, ladies and gentlemen, we got the washer dryer. We have the Rinnai hot water system. That's the outlet to power the Rinnai. Got the orange line coming in as the riser line for the sprinkler system. George right now is in the half bath, no bathtub. And the strap, I want to mention that, have to leave the strap off of this until the vinyl siding guys get done. If not, they'll tear my dryer discharge, vent discharge up. So I've left that loose. And I need to make a mental note to come back and secure that. It's a 4-gang box for garage outside spotlight, 2 outside wall lights, 2 inside garage lights, and this light here in the mudroom, which we're in right now, egress to the garage. That is a pantry, kitchen pantry labeled on the print. I put an outlet on the shelf. They're going to have shelving on this wall. That is a half bath. This is the dining room area, ladies and gentlemen. From that wall over to here is the dining room. Kind of small. Got the switch location here for outside wall lights. The dining room light is on 3-way from that side over to that box there, and the other 3-way goes from there. It turns the kitchen cans on in the living room over there. I gotta ask the contractor about the height on his outlets to make sure that he's not using oversized trim. Something happened, and these windows, they had to cut the bottoms. They ordered transoms in these windows, and that threw my height off on that outlet and that outlet right there. The rest of the outlets are consistent height going around the house. That's an in-the-wall TV box with a conduit pole, 120 volt power feeding it. Got a little loop there in case the guys doing the gas fireplace either exit out the wall, which I believe they're going to do. What do you think, George? They're going to exit out the wall, or do you think they're going to go up with the vent stack? Either or?
Yeah, it's also, it just depends on who's putting it down.
Okay, so that's undetermined at the time. And this, look, just ladies and gentlemen, is the center ceiling fan light. Ceiling fan is going to be on a remote control, and this is the 4 ceiling cans, which are there, there, and there, and they are on a 3-way. This is the office area labeled on the print. The other thing that I didn't have, I found out where the sewer discharge is. That is the sewer pump outlet. That sewer system is going to be right out front, right in this area here. The well in this house is going to be back at property. And George, I believe, is feeling for clamps. How much you think this is going to get used, George? This outlet right here. Yeah. Now this is going to be a blank face GFI post lamp out front. This is in the stake, which was right there. This is the outlet that serves this wall. And the post lamp, it's a single 14-2. It's on one switch. And this has not been changed yet. The contractor has told me that this is going to get moved over to accommodate room for the gas furnace that sits right here. So this hasn't been adjusted yet. Should be okay with my wiring. I got the switch location here, outlet down there. The heat and air contractor has not called me back yet to find out if he's doing a condensate unit on this particular gas furnace. And the reason I brought that question up is you need an outlet to serve this particular unit. If the condensate pump is down here, we definitely don't want to see a cord wrapped around this door and plugged into that outlet. This electrician wouldn't be too happy about that. Neither would the electrical inspector on trim mount. I think George would have something to say about that. It'd be what kind of a discussion? I'm sure we would. No doubt. So I'm going to get on the phone today and see if I can get an answer to that. Now, kitchen layout in here was kind of sketchy. The guy does not have a plan. There's no measurements. What I've been told was 12-inch cabinet here, refrigerator. The refrigerator, see that black line on the stud right below this one? This is where the refrigerator's at. So our cabinets start here, go to a Lazy Susan. Now, he didn't know exactly cabinet layout. Like I said, he gave me a measurement from center of the doorway to center of the range. And then he gave me a measurement from the edge of the doorway to center of the range. He's within 3.5 inches of those two measurements. You can see the wire coming down. That's the built-in microwave. So your range is going to be between these two outlets right here. Outlet has to be within 24 inches from each edge of the kitchen range. And the cabinets on this particular application stop somewhere in here. And you'll get a little bit of wall space, so I served another outlet down below. And this room has 5 ceiling cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he couldn't tell me a destination point for the center island, so I have a zigzag loop of 14.2, which you can see right here. It follows down to the switch location. A sink is going to be on the island. There is a dishwasher circuit coiled up right here with about 12 foot of wire. Now there is another wire coiled up underneath for an in-the-floor wall box, in-floor box. Comes off of this receptacle, travels under the floor, and is coiled up right here on this floor. That has to be installed after the hardwood is down. Upon the owner's request of him getting his layout in here, that wire is in a box and is capped off. A rough guesstimate for this island, I'm saying, is a 4x8.
So the distance, you got more than 12 inches, but at least 12 inches behind the sink basin?
Yes, he's going to have 2 foot overhang. And I believe the HVAC guys are going to be shooting a vent up underneath the seating area on the back of this island. I seen writing on the floor, right there, do not cut. They may be putting it on the end of the island. Anything you see that pops out at you is a question? Now on gas furnaces, don't they normally put condensate pumps off the units?
Depends. Sometimes if it's still low grade, if it's gravity feed, a lot of times they won't sit in there.
So that could run either way with me. It could go either way.
So you got receptacle provisions for receptacle.
Well, I was trying to stay off of this stud totally because this stud is probably going to get moved that way. What I'll probably do is jump from this side to the other side for a service receptacle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming into this video and want to see the walkthrough video, it's labeled as residential wiring walkthrough, and you can find that on my YouTube channel. George now is, I believe, counting the switches and receptacles and lighting. Now that can is switched from here, and then there's also a 3-way circuit that goes from that location by the door, and it's switched 3-way to that location, tied in with a ceiling can and a wall sconce. right now I've got a wire tagged for it. There are none right now, but it will be at least one, because the only thing that's serviceable equipment under the house is going to be the submersible well expansion tank, and that is going to be located somewhere. Crawl door's here. It's going to be located on the left side or the right side of the crawl door. Not sure exactly where, but I got enough wire to go to either location. And looks like the vinyl siding guys are here, and hopefully they don't get stuck. We've had a sloppy mess here from all the snow. Yeah, but wait until 12 o'clock when they want to go for lunch. Yeah, they won't be able to leave. That's our egress for the attic. There is a service outlet. I don't know if I can show you from this side. There's a service outlet on that wall. The HVAC equipment is going to be located somewhere up in here in this attic space. The light switch for the attic is right here. This is a future bonus room that's not going to be finished. This is the light switch, overhead light, no outlets. This is a future, and this is a future CATV cable, RG6. That is a future smoke detector if they decide to change the purpose of this room, and that will be wired and blanked off. No smoke detector required into a bonus room that's not labeled a bedroom. This is a master bedroom. He is in the master closet right now. Master closet's got two lights, one light switch, and it has one outlet, convenience outlet, down there. I would imagine the bed is going somewhere in between these two, the space here. There was two windows, they took them out, there and there. And I was told that this wall here, George, I was told there wasn't enough room between this door jamb and that wall, and that this was going to be moved over that way to accommodate room for the double bowl vanity. Because I think they need 28 inches from here to there. I believe it's what the plumber told me. This is a wet shower. This is 12-2 Romex. Tied from that, it's going to be a light switch, GFI protected. Comes from there over to here.
So, outside of the shower space, right?
We're outside the shower space, correct. I wouldn't want to put that in the shower. That's a fart. It's a fart area over there. Y'all can see the Johnny flange. That's where you do your business. That is a Brom 678 exhaust fan light combo. You got a RG6 coming up into this room for the TV power. That first video, if y'all are more interested in it, I went around in detail about outlet spacings and the appropriate distances. And right now, George Landing, Maryland Electrical Inspections, is checking to make sure that I've done due diligence and making sure everything's right. Now, this outlet is within 6 feet from the edge of this. I did suggest the owner to put a floor outlet somewhere in here. He opted not to. This outlet, this room has got 1, 2, 3, 4 outlets. He's not doing a knee wall. Okay, all right. Okay. I think he caught me. I thought that the exception to that rule was a half wall. No half wall. Okay. 5'8", 5'6". Okay. Right here. Center. You want center that? All right. So you want somewhere in here?
Maybe back it up a little bit. Just a little bit balance, maybe something like in here on that side.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Not a problem. That was my misunderstanding of the National Electric Code. That's why we need to do the updated training classes. So the requirement of training is 10 hours every two coats, every one coat cycle. Coat cycles, or I'm sorry, every 2 years of your license, and you have to have 10 hours updated training. And he got me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm busted. Got to do a repair. Not really a repair; it's more of an add-on. But I want to be honest with you all. Yes, sir. That's how we learn. That's a smoke detector. Light switch. I'll install all fan-rated boxes. That's on slide reel. Whether the owner does that or installs one or not, I'll still do it. I've went into residents before, seen plastic boxes, got service calls. Ceiling fan hanging from the wire, mid-air. The box pulled through. And I asked the customer, I said, was that fan there before? They said, oh no, we installed that 10 years ago. Held up by a plastic box. And she gave way. That's why we have coats, to keep people safe, so our fans don't get away from us. He's doing his outlet count. Do you add the ones for the floor?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she's cold in here. Colder in here than it is outside, I believe. These are 3 wall sconces. One there, one there, one there. Switch 3-way location there to that switch on the wall. Thermostat, HVAC guys are installing here. This house has 2 air returns upstairs, one in the master, one in the loft area. This area here. It looks like they also took that doorway out and moved that doorway over. Doorway was there, now it's here. So I get these 2 floor outlets installed up here. You're going to want to come back to check that. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to put a floor outlet there and there. Send a photograph to you? Okay. What would your suggestions be as far as pre-installing it so the wires don't get damaged? So if I do a loop, come up with a loop, have it hang out of the floor, and go back down and come up and have the other end hanging out of the floor over here.
Do that or just cool it up and just test through here.
Just map it out somewhere real good, and then I can come back, drill through. The floor outlets I use are fairly small. I've got big hands. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my hand through the hole to grab the wire. That's why I was asking him about doing an up and down loop, one for there, up and out, and an up out here. Okay. I'll probably attach some kind of metal shield over top of the wire so it doesn't get damaged. Hopefully they won't destroy my wire before I do my connections on that.
Yeah, even if you've got the hole through for the back now, put the plate over the wire against the bottom. Right?
Yeah, I could possibly hook it with a piece of wire and pull it through. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the built-in fireplace. That's a temporary workhorse that's sitting in front if you wonder what that is, but the opening for the fireplace is here. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. So, does this conclude our pre-inspection?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. So what he's doing is doing his final paperwork. He's going to fill out a sticker and apply it to the panel down below. Sometimes he sticks them in the living room window. final goes in the panel, and he's going to stick this. What are you calling this sticker that you're sticking up?
Concealed wiring.
Concealed wiring rough end. Okay. And that's basically so all the other trades can see that it's okay to cover.
Yes. And for the other inspectors.
And for the other inspectors, the building inspectors.
Yeah, the building inspectors want to see that label.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this concludes our inspection for this residential house. And this is Ron Doyle, George Lander with you. Look, be safe. God bless. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done with the inspection, and he caught me. The upstairs loft area, I misunderstood code, and the area where the ballast railing goes around this area in here. This is considered a loft area. They're going to use it for gaming, and it has to have electrical outlets all the way up to this edge, and to account for usable floor/wall area. Electrical inspector, he's going to send me the actual code that implies this installation. So he's having me add 2 floor boxes. The owner did not want, but it's out of the owner's hands, in my hands at this point. So we're going to be installing the Rayco Floor Box Kit, and it uses a 2.5-inch hole saw. This kit is it's about 40 bucks in the store, Lowe's, Home Depot. And this is a brass cover, or brass lead, and the owner prefers chrome. So I've got to do a special order from Rayco and see if we can get this in a chrome installation. But I'm going to show you how to install these floor outlets. So I've done my layout. And what we've got, this is the nearest outlet. Let me get you panned around here. That's the nearest outlet, and it is within 6 foot from the corner of that wall. And basically we have to have another outlet from this one within 12 feet. And I've got a mark on the floor. Went underneath, made sure I didn't have any obstructions, but we're looking at like a 10'6". This is where we're going to be putting it. We're going to do it 9 inches off. The contractor has got a bull-nosed oak edge that's going to go on this, and they've already got it marked out at 6.5 inches wide. So your floor will be in this area. I want to try to stay away from this and the ballast. The ballast drill into the bull-nosed block, and I want to stay away from that. So we're going to be out here. Next outlet from there to this location over here is 10'6" apart. I have to be within 12. But I don't want it close to turning this corner. These things out of this box, they're fairly sharp, these cover leads, and I don't want anybody barefoot sliding their feet across the floor to slice their foot open. So I'm going to keep it back from this outside corner, approximately 30 inches, 24 to 30 inches back, and that would keep people from sliding their feet across the floor and slicing their foot open if there's no tables or chairs there. And hopefully this kind of gives you an idea. Before you install these, you want to make sure there's no obstructions underneath. And I found that I had ceiling cans from the kitchen below this floor were in the way, and this thing is fairly tall, and it takes up quite a bit of space. The overall length of this thing is the length of the box, which is overall length of it is 8 inches. So let me put you up on the stand. We'll drill some holes and we'll get these things this roughed in. Now we're gonna go underneath and pull some wire. want to give you all a little shot of what this actually looks like. It's let's see if I can give you an idea about this. It's 2.5 inches in width. That's what your hole saw is going to be, and the overall length that's going to hang below the floor, less the wire that curls out of the bottom of it. We're looking at overall of 8 inches. But basically, I'm going to prep my holes. I'm going to do a loop coming through the floor on both ends of these, and this is basically a drop-in installation. It's going to look something like that on top of the finished floor. Not going to install it now. Like I said, we're going to do a loop, but right now we're getting ready to pull some wire. All right, got my Racketeer's wire spooler set up, 14.2 NM, going through a hole in the floor. What we're going to do is pull over, down. We're going to do a loop coming out of the floor, going down this direction. I'm going to come up through here. What I'll do is I'll coil the wire, and I'll put a protector box on top of it, keep the wire from getting all mangled up and cut and nicked. And we'll come back on trim out, take those protector covers off, let them do their flooring, finish flooring down here, and I'll have to trim around that hole and then insert these in floor wall boxes. Got 3 wires going in this series of holes, which is actually, it's maxing our holes out, so we can't have any more than 3. This hole is 1 inch in diameter. That's our first spot there for a floor outlet. So I'm going to just pull some extra slack, so it might get jammed up here. Probably need about 12, 13, 14, 15, about 15 foot of extra wire. Here. Pull too much, we always pull it back. Not a big deal. So we're going to pull past the first box, and we're going to pull to the second box. You can see a hole. Crystal. So somebody dropped a chunk of wood on that. Ladder popping. We're going to leave approximately 2 foot. Yeah, let's go 16 inches. And put a little kink in it right there. Slide this up. What I'm going to do is put a staple, keep that wire from being pulled backwards. That should give us plenty of wire slack. Alright, now our second hole, first hole that we get floor outlet. There's this mark here. We're going to leave 16 inches on both ends. So, there. I'm going to put a staple to secure that side of the wire. I'm going to secure the other side. Another staple. Making sure we have enough wire slack. We don't want to cut ourselves short on this. Alright, now we're going to secure this wire. And it is cold on the fingers in here. It's about 25 to 30 degrees in here. My fingers feel it. We're going to go upstairs and trim off the extra and tie it in that box. All right, we got about 14 inches hanging out of the floor on this one. And we got a pretty good size loop. About 12 inches out of there is a loop we can cut and do our connection. But pull this back. I usually put my thumb at the base of the box and get it so it's about 12 inches out of the box. We're going to secure it with a staple. You have to pay close attention to box fill. The numbers in the back of the box actually mean something. And right now we're within one count on our wire box of being maxed out. So got this in. Now what I'm going to do, in case this floor is not finished, and we want to turn the power on, the wire that comes in for the floor outlets, we're going to put floor outlets on it. I'm going to coil that up in the box, and it might just possibly be that I can't hook those two outlets up until a future date of the house being more further in completion. But I do want to know which wire that is. So now that I've got it marked, I'm going to take them and I'm going to spiral them into this box, push it to the back so that the drywallers don't hit it with their rotozip to protect the wire. And this will be completed on trim out. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion to finishing the code requirements for this particular house. And I hope that you all thought this was an informative video. Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes. We have to learn from our mistakes, and our electrical code inspectors are making sure that we do the jobs right. So you know, a lot of people frown upon an inspector coming up at a job, and it's actually to make sure that I'm doing my job correctly, so that everything's in good standing. At the bottom of this video, I'm going to write in 2 comments, one for educational and one for entertaining. And I would like for you all, if you've made it to the end of this video, to please check one of those boxes. I'm trying to get an understanding to why these videos on doing rough wiring in residential houses are so popular. A lot of people are watching these videos. I'm trying to get a better gist on what is actually happening. I'm glad, and I'm thanking you, the viewers, for all the support that you've sent me through, and that's amazing. I couldn't believe that the channel is growing as fast as it is, and I would greatly appreciate you all checking that box so that I can get an understanding of it. Look, I wish you all a wonderful and blessed day, and stay safe out there.